Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm using the circulars to pick up all the stitches around the front of this cardigan. And you know, sometimes there's a little bit on, these are the zinc circulars, and there's a little bit on this end that's not smooth. And sometimes when I'm pushing the stitches up, it's catching on it. Well, that's really annoying. I will get knitting done. I will get knitting done today and tonight because I am not going to bingo tonight. I went to my granddaughter's yesterday. I have had a little bit of trouble with the tyre on my car and I didn't get around to go and getting it fixed. It's had a slow puncture. But it used to take a couple of weeks before it went down, and I could just, blow it up every couple of weeks and it was okay. But I blew it up on Sunday when I went down to my granddaughter's. And I've been out a couple of times. I went somewhere Monday. I was up the A1 on Monday. For a good 40 minutes there and 40 minutes back. And I was out on Tuesday. Short distance on Tuesday. I went down to my granddaughter's yesterday, Wednesday. And the car felt a little bit rough. And it wasn't as smooth. And when I got down to my granddaughter's and I checked, oh, maybe it's the tyre. I checked the tyre and it was. I do have a little compressor thing I carry in the car. I've had it for years. And it comes in handy if I do need to blow a tyre up or anything like that. So I checked the tyre. There was about 5 pounds of PSI pressure in it. So it had went really down. That was why it was feeling a bit sluggish. So I blew it up while I was at my granddaughter's, and actually by the time I got home the light come back on again. It wasn't right down, but it was down. And I thought, oh, I'm going to have to go, and I'll have to go tomorrow morning and see if I can either get the puncture fixed or get a new tyre for the back. So I thought I'll get a new tyre for the back, get the other one fixed, and that one has a spare because I don't have a spare for my car. When I bought it, you got one of those things that you can put stuff into the tyre. You know, if you have a puncture, but if you put that stuff into the tyre, they probably cannot fix it, the puncture in it, because of the stuff. And so I thought, I'm not putting that in. And that really annoyed me because I would have took the tyre out of my other car when I bought this one if I'd realised there was going to be no tyre in. They don't seem to supply, they mustn't supply spare tyres with cars now. They just supply that stuff to pump into the tyre, which I don't like. And I'd been meaning to get a spare tyre for years, and because this car is 2015, I have had it for 7 years. But anyway, I went round my local garage, but they didn't have a tyre for it, and they didn't fix punctures. And he says, why don't you try a quick fit? So I went down to my local, I have a local quick fit near me. So I went down there, but they can't do it till tomorrow. So I thought, well, I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to get up the A1. I'm not going to take the chance on the tyre going flat up the A1. So I thought I'm just going to have to message my friend and tell her I'm not going tonight. But anyway, this fella in Quick Fit, he says, the earliest, he says, is this is where he spoke, the earliest we've got, 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'm not, no, I am not deaf, you know. He looked, gives a dirty look. There was another fella in at the time. I think he was one of the mechanics or workers in the place. I'm trying to get all these stitches round here. They won't seem to move. So anyway, I says, well, okay, I says, that'll do. I'll have to leave. I'll have to come back tomorrow. Because I'd been there a few times and they used to do them while you wait. But apparently they've had too much work, but there didn't seem to be anything going on in any. There was quite a few, you know, like spaces where they do things and there was nobody in any of them, so I don't see why he couldn't have done it there and then, like, but so he started taking the information down and he sees Car Edge. This is where he spoke. Car Edge. Oh, I see, now you're asking something. I know my telephone number, I know my insurance number, I know everything with the car and the Car Edge number. That's another matter. I just got a dirty look off him. I says, I'll just snip out and have a look at the car and I'll come back and tell you what the reg is. So I went back in and told him, I gave him the reg off the car and he put it through all the information and name and address and everything. And just from the car reg, you could find out where I lived and... But there was like saying this fella that was in the mechanic, he was coming out the door at the same time as me and he was laughing. And I said, what you were laughing at? He said, oh, just what he sees when he went out to read the reg on the car. I said, what did he say like? And he said, oh, I'm not going to tell you that, I'll get wrong. I said, what did he say? He says, silly woman. I says, I'm not a silly woman. I says, I just don't remember numbers and letters and things like that. I says, I don't keep them in my head. And I said, I was going to go back in and have it out with him. And if I grab my arm and he said, oh, don't, I'll get wrong, I work here, man. So I says, okay, I says, I'll let you off with that. And then I never thought. I went out to read the reg on my car and I've opened my phone up when I come home and I'm looking, you know where it is? Got my AA card in here. I could have just it's got the car reg on the AA card. I could have just taken it out and told him, like, never mind. That's me. So I messaged my friend and I told her, I says, I can't make it the night, and I says, for the bingo. Why? This is her, why? I says, because me tyre is going down, I've got to keep blowing it up and I don't know whether it'll last the length of time I've got to go up the A1. Oh, it's only a few minutes. I says, it's 25 minutes up the A1 from my house to your house, Anne. I says, it went flat. I says, a 10-minute drive from my granddaughter's, my house to my granddaughter's. I'm not going to take the chance. Oh, but I love me bingo on a Thursday. I says, so do I, but I says, we just kind of go. I says, you have to wait till next week. I says, it's not going to kill you. Hey, I don't know. And I don't like this thing. I'm going to have to try and flatten this afterwards when I finish this, because there is a sharp bit on the end of this. I don't know, it's because the stitches are a bit tight at the moment and they're not going over it, but there is a little sharp bit on this end of this thing. The stitches, I'm having trouble getting the stitches. I've had trouble before when I've been doing it. I didn't realise where it was. It's probably okay after I get past this first row, because this is just the first row. I've picked all the stitches up all the way around. It's a V-neck. And I don't do them with the join at the back. I like to pick the whole of the stitches up all the way around. So I was having a bit of trouble getting the stitches past that, where the cord stuff's joined to the needle. Some stitches go past okay. It must be some stitches must be tighter than others. But there does seem to be a little sharp bit on the end of it where there shouldn't be. But anyway, I'm picking up. I've nearly got the first row done. It'll not take me long, so I'll get this finished and the other one today, because we're not going to the bingo tonight. my friend, it'll be killing her having to stay at home tonight. You know, she's got lots of friends there. She knows, she's one of these ladies that knows everybody. And it's her area where she lives, so I don't really know anybody. Only people I've met since I've been going there. But you could go herself, and there's plenty of people she could sit with, and she wouldn't go. There are times when I haven't been able to go, and there's a bus stops just at the top of her street, and it takes her up there. Her husband has a van. He could take her up and drop her off there and pick her up again. But anyway, I'm not bothered. I'll just sit here and do my knitting. And I have got the other little cardigan I'm doing. I'm onto the second side. I've got the first, the back, one of the sides. That's the second side. So, and I haven't done what I've done with all the other ones. I'm just knitting it, the colours as they come. And you can see that's lemon down the bottom and it's pink down there. The lemon's further up on there. If this had been a little bit longer, the lemon probably would have been the start of it. But I'm just doing it as it comes, as the way you're supposed to knit this actually, like just to see what it looks like. Instead of doing what I usually do, is making all the stripes match. I'll put that down there. But it is, this wool is more, if I knit this again, this is the beaches, the King Cole beaches. I'm going to use thinner needles because it is more like 4-ply than it's like double knitting. It's probably in between double knitting and 4. It's not quite as thin as 4-ply, but it's not as thick as double knitting. In fact, I think this one would probably come out slightly smaller than this one that I'm knitting. This one is a King Cole as well, where it's a different name. It's King Cole Baby Pure. And I'm having myself it's after 1 now. I'm going to have myself a sandwich, something for my lunch. I'm having a cup of tea at the moment. I'm having a drink out of the cup that Angela sent me. I get about 2 cups in this cup. 2 of my normal cups. It's a big cup. Mine, after I've had a drink of this, I'm at the loo half the day. These are a rather big cup. Now I've got a twisted stitch there. I must have went through the same loop twice, so at the back of it. I might put a little video on my other channel and show everybody how I pick up these stitches when I come to do the other one. At least when I get these finished, I can get on with my own again. I did do a little bit yesterday at my granddaughter's. Get it out the bag. Yep. I took my knitting bag, when I went down to Quick Fit, I took my knitting bag with me with this in, because I thought I was going to sit and wait while I did it, but I was wrong when I got there. So I have gotten a little bit more done of this yesterday. It's getting a little bit longer. It's nearly up to the armholes. I'll measure it and see what I've had a tape measure somewhere here the other day. Oh, there it is. You see, show you all the rubbish that's on the setting. There's only enough space in the middle bit for me sitting here. The rest all full of books and knitting and wool and I think it's a bit more than 11 inches. It's about 11.5 inches. That's about 11.5 inches. I'm doing to 15 inches. That's where I like my sweaters up to, 15 inches. And I might put a tutorial on. I'm doing this to a 42-inch size. So I might start a tutorial from what I've done here. See how many stitches I've put on and just show the pattern. I might put it on my other channel just to get a little 1 or 2 little videos, because I haven't put anything on there for quite a while now. And so I have been asked about this, whether there was a pattern for it. I haven't got a pattern for it, but I'm writing it down as I'm knitting it. So I might put it on a little bit on the other channel, but it'll be just a little bit now and again, because it does take me quite a while to knit my own. So I'll put a little bit up now and again when I get, say, like up to the armholes. I'll show how much I've done so far here up to the armholes, and then the rest up to the shoulders. And that'll be just a little bit another video for to put on my other channel, because I've been neglecting that one lately. I haven't had time to do anything on it actually. But I'm nearly at the end of this first row on here, and I'll have to pour it out and make sure I put the buttonholes on the right side, because it's for a little girl. You know, it's funny when you're looking at something opposite to what you're actually wearing it. And you got to think to yourself, no, where the buttonholes on this side, but would be on that side, because I'm looking at it opposite. So I'll work that out before I do it anyway, before I get up to the buttonholes. But I've nearly done the first row all the way around. I haven't counted how many stitches. I just know I put stitch markers in every 2 inches. And when I pick up stitches for the bands, for the button bands and things, I put markers in every 2 inches, and I work on 6 stitches to the inch that I pick up. So between those markers I pick up 12 stitches between every lot of markers, and that's how I work out how many stitches. I don't actually put down how many stitches I actually pick up. I just put down 12 stitches between markers, but I'll have to count up the stitches on the needle and see how many there is, because I've also picked up I've picked up the fronts and that, and then I've picked up the stitches off the back and the sleeves as well, so there's those extra stitches as well. So it's a little bit not complicated, but it's just a little bit more work working things out for. It's very much easier doing a button up and putting the neckband and then working out the 2 bands for the front. It's much easier that way actually. And then I have to use circulars for this one. I don't like circulars. I have done it separate before, with separate needles before, on a smaller one, before I've actually stitched the raglings up and left it so it went all flat out the whole lot, and I picked up the stitches straight across that way with straight needles. But this one's a little bit bigger, and I think there's quite a lot of stitches, so there'll probably be too many for the straight needles. But anyway, that's my little bit for today. I'm going to finish my cup of tea and get myself some lunch, because I'm feeling a bit hungry now. So anyway, thumbs up and subscribe, and bye for now.